गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना अतिरावणाचारि अतिरावणाचारि धमाधम बिहारी कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा गोपी जन साई पतित पावन साई पतित पावन श्री राधा माधव गोपाल की नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथानितान्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं श्रीकृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्ण टुडे वी विल डिस्कस on Canto 4, Chapter 9, Slok number 33. दैवीं मायाम् उपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्त इव भिन्नदृक् तप्यद्वितीये अप्यासति भ्रातृर्भ्रातृभ्य हृद्रुजा भ्रातृर्भ्रातृव्य हृद्रुजा दैवीं मायामुपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्त इव भिन्नदृक् तप्यद्वितीये अप्यसति भ्रातृर्भ्रातृव्य हृद्रुजा दैवीं मायामुपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्त इव भिन्नदृक् तप्यद्वितीये अप्यसति भ्रातृर्भ्रातृव्य हृद्रुजा दैवीं मायामुपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्त इव भिन्नदृक् तप्यद्वितीये अप्यसति भ्रातृर्भ्रातृव्य हृद्रुजा Daivim of the personality of Godhead. Mayam, the illusory energy. Upasritya, taking shelter of. Prasupta, dreaming while asleep. Iva, like. Bhinnadri, having separated vision. Tapye, I lamented. Dvitiye, in the illusory energy. Api, although. Asati, temporary. Bhratrur, brother. Bhratravya, enemy. Hrid, within the heart. Ruja, by lamentation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Dhruva Maharaj lamented, I was under the influence of the illusory energy, being ignorant of the actual facts. I was sleeping on her lap. Under a vision of duality, I saw my brother as my enemy, and falsely I lamented within my heart, thinking they are my enemies. Real knowledge is revealed to a devotee only when he comes to the right conclusion about life by the grace of the Lord. Our creation of friends and enemies within this material world is something like dreaming at night. In dreams, we create so many things out of various impressions in the subconscious mind. But all such creations are simply temporary and unreal. In the same way, although apparently we are awake in material life because we have no information of the soul and the super soul, we create many friends and enemies simply out of imagination. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that within this material world or material consciousness, good and bad are the same. The distinction between good and bad is simply a mental concoction. The actual fact is that all living entities are sons of God or byproduct of His marginal energy. Because of our being contaminated by the modes of material nature, we distinguish one spiritual spark from another. That is also another kind of dreaming. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that those who are actually learned do not make any distinction between a learned scholar, Brahman, an elephant, a dog, and a chandal. They do not see in terms of the external body. Rather, they see the person as spirit soul. By higher understanding, one can know that the material body is nothing but a combination of the five material elements. In that sense, also the bodily construction of a human being and that of a demigod are one and the same. From the spiritual point of view, we are all spiritual sparks, parts and parcels of the Supreme Spirit, God. Either materially or spiritually, we are basically one. But we make friends and enemies as dictated by the illusory energy. Dhruva Maharaj therefore said, Daivim Mayam Upasritya. The cause of his bewilderment was his association with the illusory material. See, Jai Sri Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. I seek blessings from all the senior devotees. So, although don't have that much of the qualification to speak before all of the exalted senior devotees about this transcendental knowledge of Bhagavatam, but just for my self purification and as a matter of duty, just practicing so that we can have our heart cleansed. So please bless me so that I can just repeat the words of the previous acharyas and what we have discussed earlier, heard from the gurus in our sampradaya. So Dhruva Maharaj's lamentation continues here. So also today, yeah, so one point is today is Akshaya Tritiya, one of the most auspicious day. So I have noted like some of the auspiciousness on this day. At least 10 of it are there. And the most famous one is a Chandan Jatra. starts today. So it was started from when Khirchora Gopinath in Ramuna. So while taking the sandalwood from Puri, so, so on the way, Madhavendra Puri stayed there. So Gopal, being so like, merciful to his devotee, so Gopal said, "You don't need to bring the chandan all the way to Vrindavan. If you give it to Gopinath, I already got that." So he just checked like how much devoted Madhavendra Puri is. Then when the Lord said, "Oh, he is such an exalted and he can do anything for me." So then like the Lord's heart also melted. He said, "No, no, I don't want to try Madhavendra Puri anymore. How will he come this far by taking all this sandalwood? There's so much problem carrying those Malagiri chandans." So he said, "Okay, you take you apply the chandan, you offer the chandan to Gopinath." So from that day, the Chandan Jatra started. So in most of the temples especially in Odisha and Bengal and all are ISKCON temples, specifically in India. So for 21 days, so the sandalwood pulp will be spread over the Lord's body. We do so much like decorations, also painting. So it looks so nice in Mayapur, Vrindavan. And the others are like, it is said the Lord Parsuram appeared on this day, on Akshaya Tritiya, and the Ganga is descended to earth on this day, Akshaya Tritiya day. And also this day marks the beginning of Treta Yoga. Maybe when Treta Yoga starts, it starts from the Akshaya Tritiya. And it is also said that Sudama visited Krishna at Dwaraka on this day. And Vyasdeva also started composing Mahabharata on Akshaya Tritiya. And it is said that Adi Shankaracharya also composed the Kanagdhara Stotram. Anyway, I'm not sure about Kanagdhara Stotram. That means. And Kubera received his wealth and position as custodian of wealth from, and it is said that goddess Annapurna Devi appeared on this day. And the construction of chariots. So in Puri, Rath Yatra is going to come in Asad, so around June, July. So on this day, the making of Ratha, the chariot, starts in Puri. So it marks the building of the chariot in Puri. That is a very important festival in Puri always. So that's how this Akshaya Tritiya is celebrated, and it is also said that in as it is the name implies or like Akshay, so means unperishable. So whatever you start this day, it will be there forever. That's why people buy gold. So the gold will remain, but the people will not. They don't know that they can buy gold on that day. So that gold may remain, but they will not stay. So possessing anything material, so that material thing may be there until like his life ends. But if we acquire devotion, Harinam on this day, that will remain Akshay. Harinam is anyway Akshay, and we ourselves, the souls, are also Akshay. But this connection we have to make. So we have to acquire that. Once we acquire that, then that Harinam will be in our account eternally, Akshay. On this Akshay Tritiya, for our devotees, it is always so. One more, like it is a festival day, like Madhav Tithi. So if you do any devotional activities, so that will remain Akshay, unperishable. So by saying this, and also we have nice Kirtan Mela this evening. So all the devotees, I hope, will join and take the opportunity to glorify the Lord. So by saying that, we will move to our Bhagavatam discussion of today's. So Dhruva Maharaj lamentation. So in earlier slok, Dhruv Maharaj first like said or like complained about the devatas, the demigods. There might be these people, they are always envious of others. They don't want anyone to come above to their place and occupy that. So they must have like polluted my senses. That's why I could not. Then again in the next sloka, actually this is proper understanding, and we can always say like perfectly Dhruv Maharaj identified that I was under the influence of the illusory energy. Whether Dhruv Maharaj was there or not, that is different because all the exalted devotees they always think like that. So they always say that I am very fallen. I don't have any quality. Why? Because even for a second, even for a moment, like if because they are not in complete association with the Lord, then they feel, oh, I just fall. So I am not in that position. So much unfortunate I am. But for us, for one moment also, if we think, like in a week, if we come to temple, or in few years, if you go to Vrindavan, oh, we are so auspicious. We are so advanced now. No, we have pure bhakti maybe. Radharani's blessings came. So means we are progressing actually. But for exalted devotees, not like that. So even for a moment, when they think that, oh, I am not in complete association with the Lord, so they think that something is problem. I am not that good. I don't have the mercy. I am very fallen. So they think. But this is proper that because of the illusory energy only. So all these human beings, all of us, are getting bewildered by so many things. So here in the purport, very nicely, the most important verses Srila Prabhupada has given. Like, first he says about the like in dreams. So like in dream, in our subconscious mind, we see so many things sometimes. But there is no reality on this, as we always know. Oh, it is sometimes in the scriptures, it is said that this life is also like a dream. It is not exactly you should think, okay, anyway, it is dream, then leave it. Will not do. Someone will say, if material person, if he doesn't know about devotion, Prabhuji, everything is dream. And then going to temple and devotion also will be dream then. So why do in dream then? If anything permanent comes, then let's do that. So it's not like that. But analogically, it is said. Like it is once Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj was saying, he- while in class and everything, we give so many examples and analogies. Analogies are just to understand. No analogy is 100%. Okay, this is the analogy, then we should understand that this is it. It is not like that. Analogies are just to understand. So many analogies are given. Like in scriptures also it is said that this life is just like a dream. Because whatever we are doing, so it is temporary. Because it is temporary, like in dream, whatever we see is temporary, just for a few minutes or a few hours, maybe sometimes you see something. At that time we get all those. Like someone will say, okay, anyway it is dream, but anyway dream, but within the dream, that 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour, you get all those feelings. You become jubilant, you become scared. Otherwise, why do you get sweating sometimes? So that is there. So for that moment, on that dream, actually you are on that position, but that is temporary. As soon as you get up or wake up, the dream is lost. There is no impact on it. That's how in this material life also temporarily based on the conditions what is going on in a conditional life, so we think so much pleasure, or we think, oh, this person is so dear to me, he is a very good friend, because he is favorable for that point of view. Otherwise, there is no reason for that. The same thing, if he is little bit of unfavorable to us, then immediately we think, no, 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 he's not a friend. He's number one enemy. He always he wants to demotivate me or he wants to bring me down. That is he's a rascal. No, no, he's not good. So immediately for a simple thing also, small thing, for every each and every activity, each and everything, we think whether if it is favorable to us, if someone is doing good, someone is getting some benefit to me, then he is friend. And if he is not doing good for me, a little bit of thing, then immediately we think he is enemy. Dhruv Maharaj, based on this, immediately he realized just that my father did not allow me to come to his lab. Immediately he thought his brother is my enemy. Because of him, he is not taking me. So I immediately thought that he is my number one enemy. But it is not like this. It must be because of that illusory energy. When his pure consciousness awoke after association, like after doing the Ashtanga Sharir Yoga and after getting the association of Lord, when his pure consciousness woke up, that's why the first line Prabhupada says, real knowledge is revealed to a devotee only when he comes to the right conclusion about life by the grace of the Lord. At least when someone comes in contact with the devotees, starts the devotional service by at least chanting the names, coming to the temple, paying obeisances to the Lord, honoring the prasadam. When we do like small, these very easy limbs of devotional service, the Lord gets attracted and he starts bestowing some mercy upon us. Then slowly the person will get the real knowledge. Then only he can get some light about the knowledge that what is right, what is wrong. Otherwise, the people who are devoid of devotional life, if you see, they don't have any like capacity to underline what is real good, what is real bad. They always think based on the material possession and bodily sensual pleasure. According to that, if I can possess something materially, then those things are favorable to me and those people are favorable to me. Or at least they should give me pleasure, sensual pleasure. Otherwise, there is nothing is there. Otherwise, everything is unfavorable to them, everyone is enemy to them. So they don't want to associate nothing. But devotees, they know whether they get anything material possessions, they get any sensual pleasure or not, no problem. They want to satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord. They don't. That's why people like devotees. They perform so much austere. They fast. They do Govardhan parikrama. If we say, okay, you have to do Govardhan parikrama barefoot, 21 kilometers. So people say, oh, 21 kilometers barefoot. Oh, no, that is not possible. The devotees, they know because they want to please the Lord, they do it. But the same people, they would be running 7 kilometers every day for health. That is good for them. But if we say do parikrama, no. What is the use? I'll not go there. In the morning, I'll just run. Or I'll go to the gym and run there. Otherwise, I'll not walk. That is not possible. So that is their mental capacity. Why? So that's why Prahlad, Dhruv Maharaj said, actually, I was sleeping on the lap of the Maya Devi. That's why I could not know. So see the difference because his father did not allow to come to his lap. You are so disturbed with the illusory energy. So without knowingly, you went into sleep on the lap of the mind. So if we become perturbed and become disturbed so much for the for little bit of like uncomfort in this material world, and somehow or other, if we just try to get the thing, get that comfort by hook and crook, but then we will never know where we will land and what we are going to trade to get something. Always there will be some trade-off. So if you try to by hook or crook, I want that material thing, I want to grab this. Then you never know what you are going to lose for that. So instead of that, if you just leave it on the grace of the Lord, or the decision of the Lord, that, oh Lord, because of my material association, I want this thing. But I am not sure whether that is good for me or not. How much that will be beneficial for me in my devotional life. Being a devotee, we should always keep that in priority. So if that is automatically comes on my hand, then that is fine. Or otherwise, we should not be like over endeavoring that. So as we see, like over endeavoring is one of the thing which will kill our devotion. Atyahara prayasas. So prayas, over endeavoring should not be done. If we do over endeavor, then we will get into the lap of Maya. That's why like, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, जीव जागो गोरा चंद कहे কত নিদ্রা যাও মায়া পিশাচের কোলে. So for how long will you be sleeping in the lap of the mind? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, এনেছি ঔষধি মায়া নাসিবার লাগি হরিনাম মহামন্ত্র লও তুমি মানি. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that disease, okay, to rectify that disease I have brought this Harinam Sankirtan. So please just ask for it, I'll give. I don't want any money. Just ask. So if someone knows, then only he'll ask. Otherwise, why he'll ask? Now, when we distribute, also no one takes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I have like expanded this marketplace. I just want that someone just come and ask for me." That's why Bhaktivinoda says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, "Bhakati Vinod Prabhu চরণে পড়িয়া হরিনাম সেই হরিনাম মন্ত্র লইল নাহি." After Bhaktivinoda Thakur taking that, and he passed in such a way that Srila Prabhupada came and forcefully, hey, take Harinam Sankirtan. Do not know, just chant sometimes. Just read this Bhagavad Gita, then you will get to know. So that much distribution started. Without now, the Prabhupada said, like as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already told that you go door to door and beg to take this name. So by taking that into heart, so Srila Prabhupada came and encouraged everyone that you go and distribute these books, distribute this name. Then the people who are sleeping on the lap of the illusion and energy, the Maya Devi, they can at least wake up. So this verse which Dhruv Maharaj says, it is actually applies to each and every one of us in this material world. That everyone is virtually sleeping on the lap of the Maya. So somebody in up to some degree, but all are sleeping on the Maya Devi's lap. To get out of that, we have to do serious bhajan. And also, by explaining this, like Prabhupada gives that in this world, whatever we see, because of this duality, under a vision of duality, I saw my brother as my enemy. So the another shloka here gives from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada says like Krishnadas Kaviraj said. So that famous shloka that Dvaite Bhadra Bhadra Jnana Sava Dvaite Bhadra Bhadra Jnana Sava Mano Dharma. এই ভালো এই মন্দ এই সব ভ্রম this in this material world actually someone says, oh, this is perfect, this is perfect, this is perfect, this is very good, very good. He says nothing is very good here, and nothing is so much very bad also. Something which is very good, after some time it may be very bad. Gulab jamun, rasgulla, which is so nice for a diabetic, it is like poison. The same thing. So there is not a specific thing, that there are so many living beings. Okay, if like in Odia there is one proverb also. Okay, in the translation it is like in when Magh Mas comes, like in the winter season. So for some living beings it is very nice, and for human beings also it is very nice to perform all the like devotional services. But there are some living beings, they die immediately. So in some weathers, so some living beings can survive, and some other living beings they will die. So I think, oh, it is very nice, it is very nice. Somebody will say winter is very nice, winter is very nice. Somebody say no, I don't like winter. So for some people it won't be suitable. So on this material world, there is no not a specific thing which is always good or always bad. It is just that monotherm. Out of our mental concoction, out of our conditional stage, we think this is bad or good. এই ভালো, এই মন্দ, এই সব wrong. This is just a mistake. But we take something as permanent good and associate with that, that will bring us. Just have to use as much as it is required and favorable for performing our devotional life, not to get entangled too much in the material world. Otherwise, there is nothing in this world. That's why Prabhupada used to say, there is nothing in this world which can save you. Only Krishna and Krishna's name. When you are realized with this, then otherwise, until you have something or other, you think this thing will save us, that thing will save me in this world, nothing will save you. There is nothing, absolutely nothing in this world is going to save you. Only Krishna and Krishna's mercy. So this duality is so much powerful in this world. That's why perfectly, I think, yeah, in the lamentation for Dhrumara's lamentation, this is the last sloka. So he has perfectly told this one. And going further, that's why Srila Prabhupada writes, like being of our contaminated by the modes of material nature, we distinguish one spiritual spark from another. Because of conditional stage only, we think that this person is bad, that person is bad, he is good, he is bad. Sometimes means somebody says, okay, so everything is Brahma or everything is soul. Then everything is soul. Why don't we see that? Why do we have so much enmity among ourselves? That's why one who is not perfectly situated in the spiritual stage, or Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma stage, so he cannot identify. So that's why the perfect sloka here, which Prabhupada gives from Bhagavad Gita, like the like a Brahman, like a learned person, do not make any distinction between a learned scholar, Brahman, elephant, dog, and Chanda. Vidya Vinay Samparne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini. Sunichaiva Swapaketsa Pandita Samanarsi. So Pandita means learned, learned in spiritual knowledge. So not that anyone can take the title of Pandita because he is scholar in Sanskrit. So usually nowadays Pandita title is given if one is graduated in Sanskrit grammars. If you learn 5 years or 3 years is Panini Sanskrit, and then you will get the title of Pandita. Or you even in our Harinamamrit Vyakaran given by Jiva Goswami. So if you learn that after 5 years, you can be given Shastri Pandita title, but that is not that. So real Pandita, which is explained in Bhagavad Gita, the Pandita means these qualifications should come. Then he is Pandita. Vidya Bina Sampanna. So he has to be in knowledge, real knowledge or transcendental knowledge and Vinay. So he has to get that humility in them. Normally, if someone is very knowledgeable, he doesn't get the humility and come proud. Oh, I am this much is professor. Now I have so much. I am now qualified in Sanskrit, or I am qualified in these things. Now I have learned this Vedas, these Shastras. Now Bhagavad Gita is by heart, and so many like I have remembered thousands of slokas from Bhagavatam. So sometimes people knowledgeable and humility to get both at the same time is very difficult task unless one is so much surrendered to the Lord and perfectly realized what is his goal of life and what he want, how can he get the lotus feet of the Lord, the pure devotional service. So when one person is that kind of pandit, then he can see the same thing. Otherwise, we can remember this sloka, we can tell this millions of times that yeah, we should see a cow, an elephant, a dog, and dog eater, and a Brahman at the same level. Well, can we do that? Impossible. This, to realize this is almost impossible. We cannot do this. Even with one devotee and another devotee, another devotee comes, he doesn't chant 16 round, we'll see him in a different eye. And what kind of relation we can? This is sometimes I would think about this sloka that this is very difficult to get. What to talk about a Brahman and a dog eater? Within a Brahman, within a devotee, we make these things happen. So because of our conditioning, because of the illusory energy, because we are in trap of Mayadev illusion, that's why we always think it is not very easy. But up to what level, whatever level we can purify and level set our consciousness, it would be very good for us. And to do our own sadhana bhajan, that will help. I think it is 9:05 or 9:08. So we can give rest to Srimad Bhagavatam. If anyone has any questions or any feedback or reflections or want to discuss anything, if I have spoken anything, like not have wrongly, non-knowingly, so please correct. And anybody in Zoom, जय जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।